Hello everybody, this is a Shadowbox and welcome back to Susquehanna River Valley on Farming Simulator 19. Believe I'm still running version 1.2 of that map. I don't know if there's any updates since then, to be honest. As you can see, we have leased the sugar beet harvester from the store. They dropped it off this morning and it was very nice of them. Well, they didn't do it for free. There was a fee, obviously. You can see I did finish all the mowing, but it looks like it's grown again. I don't know if it's high enough to mow again, but I'm gonna be kind of mad if it is in a state where it can be mowed again. It's like I just finished it. But anyway, not doing that today. You see, it is the first day of winter, and our sugar beet are finally ready to be harvested. I don't know if they took so long because I changed the length of the seasons after they were planted. That can cause issues, like I've heard, but I've not actually ever seen it play out. So that could be the reason. And also, our alfalfa is not grown to a state where it can be harvested. So this was just like a waste of time and money. So I'm a little bit mad about that, but it is what it is. I thought for sure that it would grow at the same rate as grass, but apparently it grows a lot slower. Maybe it has a much higher yield than grass. I don't know. But, so yeah, that's disappointing. Anyway, we have a sugar beet harvest to get to. I guess I should actually take the time to put the brand new planter in the shed. If we can find a spot for it, that is. Here we go, and nicely done. That cultivator and that planter are next on my list for getting replaced. I was not expecting the canola to germinate and pop up already. I thought we wouldn't see any sprouts until spring, so hopefully they don't die in the winter. And it does mean that we have to be pretty careful when we're harvesting the sugar beet. It's been a while since I've harvested sugar beet. I'm hoping, like, obviously I want a good yield off of it, but I'm hoping we don't have to stop to unload the harvester like every 2 minutes or anything like that. Of course, we can't even harvest the crops yet because they are damp with overnight dew. We're going to have to wait for them to dry out, and I hope that they will dry out because the air temperature is only 30 degrees. If we lose this crop of sugar beet, I am going to be so mad that I will not be able to function. But that is farming sometimes, isn't it? Things don't always go as expected. You just have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So that's why I've got time ticking away at 30 times speed, and I'm hoping that by the time we get all of our implements out here on the field, I'll just bump that up to 60 because why not? By the time we get everything out here, I'm hoping that it will be ready to go. And Sarah should already be at the yard, so let's have her grab the John Deere. My game is always a little bit laggy when I first load it up. I should really just let it settle before I start recording, but I'm so eager to play that I just can't help it. It's probably partly because Seasons is trying to calculate all the crops drying out and stuff like that. If they're even calculating that the crops are drying out. How warm is it supposed to get today? Oh, it's only supposed to get to 32, and there's like no drying potential. Oh man. I tell you what, if we can't harvest these crops, I am going to be very sad. I tell you what, guys, it is not looking good. We're 1:30 in the afternoon, and our crops are still too wet to harvest. Though the temperature is up to 34 degrees. So I don't know, maybe we can try and see if the game will even allow us. I know I don't have access to this land. It looks like we are allowed. Yes, we can harvest the sugar beet. Excellent. Man, I was scared there for a minute. Oh, I probably should have taken the dual tires off. We might be losing a little bit of crop here, but, you know, this tractor is, like, barely able to pull this equipment, so I think that those dual tires are kind of necessary, so we might just have to live with losing a little bit of our hard-earned crop here. I suppose I could swap it with the John Deere. The horsepower requirements are very similar between the two of them, but honestly, the yield of sugar beet is so high, I'm not that worried about it. Oh, and look at that. Even just that little bit of difference in horsepower between the John Deere and this International may be enough. I mean, we are struggling on this hill. Are you serious? I was not expecting that. What's the beet technology? Oh, it's 185. Shoot, I thought it was 145. Alright. Oh boy. Well, you know what that means, right? Let me see. I don't think that Steiger can have a... Yeah, no front attachment on this Steiger. Because that 3-point attachment's on the back, not on the front. Alright, so we may... Now, anything that we buy from here, apart from the Steiger... The 89 is definitely cheaper, has the same horsepower. What can we get? If we get all-wheel drive, front fenders, we can get this up to 207 horsepower. Oh, but this can't have a front attachment either, just a front loader attacher. So that's no good. $7,200 series. Oh wait, this can have a front loader attacher. That's good. And we can get it up to the horsepower that we need, which is also good. But that's $110,500. So, like, at that price, we might as well almost just buy a Magnum. Though it is still the first year. We could, I did say it would be the start of the new year. We can't buy any more quote-unquote used equipment. So maybe we get another John Deere tractor on the farm. If we go to Standard US and change the configuration to a 3-point hitch, condition used, beacons Model 5, design US 2, 3, 4. Oh, I like US 6. No forestry. Engine setup. We would need 200 horsepower, so 203. Oh, that is just outside of our price range. And this is the one that we have, is the 40 series here. And this is the 40 series L. What about the 47? Oh, that's even more expensive. Alright guys, I need to figure out how we're going to get a tractor. We might have to end up borrowing that Puma from Farmer Joe one last time. Alright guys, I have made my decision as to what tractor to get. Farmer Joe was going to charge us a little bit extra to use that Puma because he's already got it ready for his retirement auction and he was going to have to clean it again and all that stuff. So I actually just contacted the tractor store up there and I asked if they could rush down just a pretty base Puma. It has less power than the one that Farmer Joe had. But it still has enough for the job that we have to do. So I'm just going to run up. They should have it dropped off by the time I get up there, and we can get that hooked up and get this job taken care of. You know, this does make me realize we are going to need an additional tractor other than that Steiger that I'm definitely going to buy. So whether that's going to be a case tractor or a John Deere tractor, I'm not sure yet. We are going to go up to Farmer Joe's retirement auction and see if we can't get any good deals on that, so we'll just have to see. Alright, let's get this guy out on the field. Tell you what, these Pumas are nice tractors. Almost like they're sorted into the right category. They're a good mid-tier tractor. And with the right configurations, they can even pull stuff that are you know, by all rights, just way too heavy for it, or I should say looks ridiculous on it. Oh, don't drive over the crop. That was close. Alright, we should have no issues now. I said we should have no issues now. It is struggling to get going on the hill, but we are on a hill. You know, at this rate, maybe it would have been cheaper just to rent a big Ropa harvester. It's more expensive up front, but it would have got the job done faster, which leads to, you know, lower overall cost, potentially. Not sure. There was something last episode that I said I was going to test on my test map, and then I could not remember what that was, and I have not edited that episode yet to remind myself, so whatever I said I was going to test, I have not tested yet. It was probably something related to the sugar beet harvest, and now it's just too late, and I'm going to laugh at myself when I'm recording, or when I'm editing. This corner up here is going to be fun. I should probably put in some grass at the end of these fields next spring, just so we have a little bit more of a buffer to turn around. And once I have a good plow, I'm probably going to link these fields up into two bigger fields, since I'm planting the same things on them anyway. And then once that's done, once the fields are both combined into one, I should be able to hire courseplay workers on it, no problem. As it stands right now, since I'm trying to harvest both fields at the same time, it's just better for me to harvest myself. If I can actually pay attention to how full my harvester is, so I don't just drive for a quarter mile without unloading. So yeah, this winter, Farmer Joe is having a retirement auction, and we're definitely going to go because I want to get that Steiger. And who knows, we might pick up another couple pieces of equipment while we're there. But after Farmer Joe's retirement auction, it's going to be no more buying used equipment for us. So hopefully we can get some good stuff that'll last us a while. You know, and it's just because of how precarious this crop is laid out right now, I can't even really justify using follow me to have Sarah just follow me and constantly keep the tractor unloaded. And just the turnaround is not, this turnaround area is not good. Do I have, I don't really have any more turnaround area down there, so this is tricky. I maybe should have waited to plant the winter canola after I harvested. However, you can't plant in the winter, and yeah, this wasn't ready to harvest until the winter, so can only do so much, I guess. And it is sugar beet. It does have a very high yield, so if I kill some of the crop, it's not going to be the end of everything. So let's just do the best that we can. And that will have to be good enough. Alright, I think this area is probably wide enough for us to turn around in, so I think we'll go ahead and start going up and down again. We'll try to keep our pipe always on the outside, which is another reason why I want to do this manually instead of having Courseplay guide one of our workers through it, or one of our co-owners, I should say. Alright, let's see how this goes. You know, actually, I probably should back up and get that strip there. Unless I can just swing right around. That would be good. Oh, yeah. Perfect. So that should prove that there is room enough to turn around down here now. So that makes me feel good. We'll get going down here. I'm not sure if I'm going to time-lapse or cut that footage of me cutting the headland there, because it was a little bit tedious. I wasn't really talking a lot, because reversing this thing apparently takes my concentration when I have not had enough coffee this morning. Though I do have a firefighter story to tell you guys today. This is based on EMS. I was working at the fire department, but in an EMS capacity. It's the most unnecessary 911 call that we have ever got. So, we have a lot of hotels in my jurisdiction, and there are a couple of hotels that have the reputation of, like, you really shouldn't go there if you can afford any other option, kind of, you know, pay by the hour kind of motels. And the police were there on a domestic, which is fine. That's a police issue as long as nobody's hurt. And then the police call us that one of the people is requesting medical attention. And a lot of times, not always, but most of the time, it's if it's a domestic, it's whoever the smaller partner is requesting medical attention, and it's usually legitimate in that case. So we go, and there's a small woman who's probably in like her late 20s, early 30s, and like a really big dude who's, I don't know, mid 20s, late 20s. Something like that, and it's the dude that wants medical attention. So that kind of caught us a little bit by surprise, just because it's unusual, but you know, it is what it is kind of thing. And I'm not saying it was the, you know, big dudes can't get hurt by little chicks. That's definitely, you know, still possible, even if it's not the norm. However, this guy wanted medical attention because during the fight, he picked up a stack of papers and threw them, and gave himself a paper cut. He had a paper cut on his ring finger on his right hand that he wanted to go to the hospital to get stitches for. So I was like, dude, I was able to talk to him. We can't refuse to take somebody to go to the... We can't refuse to take... Let me slow down, pick my words. We cannot refuse to take somebody to the hospital if they are requesting it. However, we can kind of talk to them and make them kind of realize maybe the hospital isn't the best place for you, because they're not going to do anything for a paper cut. So I was like, hey, look, dude, we really don't need to, you know, give you a bill for the ambulance ride to get to the hospital. You really don't need the emergency room bill for this. How about I just take care of you, like, right here, right now? You're all good to go. You're not going to get billed for hundreds of dollars. And once I brought that into it, he was like, oh, yeah, for sure. Sounds good. So I cleaned the cut with an alcohol prep, and I put a Band-Aid on it, and he ended up being taken into custody by the police because he was the aggressor. So, yeah. It was kind of, you know, you never know what you're going to get when you're working in any job that deals with 911, whether that's dispatch, police, fire, EMS. That was definitely a situation that was not normal, and I would say probably the most unnecessary 911 call we've ever got. I mean, the guy was able-bodied and everything. He could have taken care of his paper cut on his own. He just was hoping to get some more time before he went to jail. I think he knew he was going to jail and was trying to get out of it. That doesn't work, by the way. If you're going to jail and end up going to the hospital before you go to jail, you still go to jail. The police aren't just going to go, oh, well, you're in the hospital, I guess we should just leave him alone. He's learned his lesson. Like that kind of thing. You're just delaying the inevitable. Alright guys, I think we're going to go ahead and cut to a time lapse because this is going to take a long time to do, but man oh man is it going to be profitable when we're all done. I think if we just really quickly check our prices for, we don't just want sugar beet, we want sugar. So it looks like we actually want to hold on to our sugar crop until early spring because prices are going to go up by like 500 apparently. I'd say anything over 2,000 per liter we'll go ahead and sell just to take advantage of that once we have the sugar. But that also means we're going to need a place to store the sugar, so we might have to take out a loan and get a silo up because the sugar mill works different than the flour mill. Last time I used the sugar mill, it had to process everything that was in it before it would let you drop off another trailer load. And then I had to empty the sugar before I could put anything else in, so maybe I haven't used the sugar mill since 1.2 came out, so maybe that's been fixed or changed to work a little bit better, but if not, that's going to be what we're going to have to do. So our sugar beets may just be sitting in the warehouse until the end of winter, unless, let me check the sale prices now for sugar cane, silage, straw, lots of crops on this map, which I'm not upset about. Where is sugar? Oh, it's right here. Arondax soda, 1766. Bakery, 1823. So yeah, not quite there where I want to be to sell it, but you know, still pretty good. Definitely worth more. It's worth like 3 times what the sugar beet price is, so. And I believe it's a 1-to-1 ratio, like a liter of sugar beet turns into a liter of sugar, so it's definitely worth doing. Even if I have to take out a loan to purchase a grain bin to store the sugar in while we're waiting. I think that would be worth it. Anyway guys, like I said, let's cut to a time lapse. Alright guys, we are at 26,000 liters already. Can you imagine trying to do this field with our old trailer? It would not go over too well. The reason I'm coming back from the time lapse now is because I realized that we have not given away one of the houses yet. So we've given away the White House and the Red House. Congratulations to those winners. You know who you are by now, but I do not. So let's give away the White House with the porch on it. We'll drive by that after we drop off our the sugar beet here, just so you can see which one you want. Oh, we might have to move. Gonna have to move this belt really quick. If we just get it out of the way like that. we go. I am a fan of these sheds from Global Company because as you can see, we are like loading it into like a storage capacity. We're not just dumping it onto the ground, yet buckets and the conveyors still work for picking up the stuff inside, so it works really well. If you store grain in it, it will hold it forever, but in real life the grain would, especially in like a moist environment like this, the grain would go bad pretty quick, so that's why we're not using it to permanently store grain, just our root crops, because the root crops can't go in the grain bins that we're going to buy. So this is the house right here. White house with the porch on it. If you would like to have a sign out front with your name on it, I guess they both have porches. Alright, so the one that's second from the left is the one that we're giving away today. I'm calling that the White House with the porch. And then this is the house with the blue shutters. That'll be next video. So this video, comment if you would like to have that White House with the porch on it. And let's get back to the time lapse. Alright everyone, as you can see, we just beat the rain, and that took me a heck of a lot of work, let me tell you. Like, that is probably the most time that I have ever spent manually harvesting fields. That was crazy, and we did not do a perfect job, especially on the corners. There's a lot of missed area like that, but I'm not going to worry about it, because I will show you the total count of sugar beet we got once we get to our storage area. It was a great yield, and it could have been better. We only got, according to precision farming, I think we only got like 50% or 80% yield. Yeah, 80 and then like 100 there, and then 85 here is what it looks like. Maybe even 75 here. And we still got a ton. So if we picked a better soil type to plant these in, we would have needed a large bunker instead of a small. So yeah, I'm gonna get these stored. We're gonna take a look at the total, and then we're gonna skip ahead to the daytime, and we'll get them transported up to the sugar factory. Not gonna sell them this episode, most likely, just because of the prices. I don't foresee the prices getting up to the range that I want to sell them at. They will apparently be worth close to $2,000 per 1,000 in this in the early spring. So I do want to hold on to the sugar. I mean, not the sugar beets. So I do want to hold on to them until then. I'm thinking about taking out a loan and buying a small grain bin that can accept sugar. That way we can just get everything transported back to our farm and out of the factory. Or I suppose we could just keep everything locked down here. Let's go ahead and we can just leave this tractor here for a minute. Sarah can just chill there. We got to get our leased equipment back. I do want to see how much we ended up paying in leasing costs, because as you can see, our money went down drastically, so we must have put some operating hours on all of these machines. I mean, we definitely did. As it took over 3 hours of real time to get this field harvested. It was like 3.5, almost 4 hours. So a time lapse of these fields is not even going to be short enough to show you everything. So I took some short video clips from different views, and we'll just kind of have like a montage of the harvest going on. And hopefully that'll come out nice. I might go back and do that for the wheat harvest also, because I have not edited that video yet. I'm trying to get a lot of recording done all at once, so I have videos lined up before I go on my honeymoon. At this point, I might have actually over-recorded. I might have more footage than I need, but I've just been having so much fun playing on this map. Alright. Let's get into the office. And let's see. Let's go ahead and return. Alright guys, it is the morning, and as you can see, we got a snowfall overnight, and our tenants are going to be expecting us to clear this area for them, and we don't have anything to do that with. So I think we need to shift our priorities from processing our sugar beets to going and getting something that we can use to clear the snow from our property. Alright guys, here we are back at the farm. Just so you know, if you plan on using this small garage mod, it is not seasons ready. It's not the end of the world. It's not like we're using it to hold bales or anything, but if you were using it to hold, if we were using it to hold bales, we would be in trouble. You can see we got our salt stored in, and I've actually already loaded the spreader on the gator. Something that I did notice is that these are labeled NaCl, which is sodium chloride, which is table salt. I'm pretty sure, at least near me, road salt is calcium chloride. I could be wrong, but I just thought that was kind of funny. There are many different types of salt, and table salt is not the only one. So yeah, let's check out how this gator does. Let's see if it's going to get the job done for us, or if we maybe need to invest in something bigger in the future. You can see we only have like basically $2,000 left, and that is basically because the salt was almost as much as the gator. So yeah, that's great. Alright, let's go ahead and we're just gonna try plowing first because salt is such a commodity. Okay, why can't I get... Oh, okay, so the plow is mouse controlled, not key controlled. Does it tilt side to side as well? Yes, it does. That's actually really cool. I like that. Does it push things to the side? It looks like it is. Oh, that's really cool. We can just, like, fly down here. That's probably a little bit unrealistic. Let's go ahead and set our cruise control to, like, 10 miles an hour and see how it works. Yeah, that's much better. I don't think we would just be flying down here quite that fast in reality. I would like to clear up to at least our farmyard entrance as well, because you never know when we're going to be coming in and out of the farm here. But I think maybe up to here is a good spot to stop and switch down the next row. I probably should have started more in the middle, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. This is actually doing a really good job. I'm very satisfied with this purchase so far. Kudos to the mod authors responsible to this. I don't leave reviews on the mod hub very often because I guess I'm just a terrible person, but I think I'm going to leave a review for these mods because this is just working incredibly well. Way better than I expected it to. I mean, even at high speeds, it's not, like, completely terrible. Alright, and let's rotate it the other way. I like that we can rotate the plow without having to switch away from the spreader, so we still have full control of the salt spreading as we adjust the plow. Holy cow, this is just fun to use, guys. I'm probably not going to clear that whole dirt area that's next to the road. We're just going to clear the roads and make sure our residents have a path out of their driveways. We do not clear their sidewalks up to their doors for them. That's actually just, you know, a limitation of the game. We don't have any hand shovels to clear the snow with that way, so I'm just going to say our residents are responsible for clearing their own sidewalks, but we will get the roads and the driveways for them. Alright. And because we were going through a thick snowdrift, this does need another pass, which is, you know, realistic, so I'm not upset about that. This is actually day 2 of recording this episode. I had to stop after the sugar beet harvest was done because I had to go to work. I did not expect it to take that long. Alright, I'm thinking we'll maybe just get the main roads here cleared on camera, and then I will probably finish the rest off camera. I'd like to show you guys the chores around the property once in a while, just so you know, like, I am actually working for that daily income we get from the rent sign. I should probably not just leave that straight in the road, huh? That's a pretty significant drift. It would be cool if we get a bigger truck to do some plowing with, if we did some commercial contracts as well, just to keep some income in the winter. That is something that I will consider. And let's just get one more pass of this big snowdrift here. Oh, finally, we're getting sugar beet. Oh, that took a lot of finagling and convincing, but we're finally loading the sugar beet. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take some of the loan that we are allowed. $150,000, and let's see if we can afford a grain bin. Preferably one that can store sugar. I don't see sugar here. I don't see sugar here either. But the multi-fruit one, I mean, like, we pretty much know would be able to store sugar. Let's just go with the large multi-fruit silo for now. And I will probably do contracts off camera to, I needed 180, so I can return what we're not going to use. Though, you know, next day is going to be Farmer Joe's retirement auction. So we will be going to that and making some money there. Or not making some money there, spending some money there, rather. Where do I want to put this? There's not really any space for it in our yard. We're going to have to expand our yard into our alfalfa field, which I'm really not super happy about. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get a cutting off that alfalfa field, but you know what? It is what it is. Hopefully we'll make enough money off of this harvest that we can just purchase these fields right away and extend our alfalfa field up into there. Okay, you know what? Executive decision. We're going to tear down our silage bunker that we currently have. And we're going to put our grain silo there. And then in the spring, when we can kind of be closer to seeing what we're doing, we will go ahead and put a new silage bunker in, like, on the lower level of where we currently are. Alright, so now we have some place to store our sugar, and it's gonna fill the capacity of the sugar. Actually, we're gonna need an extension in order to make everything fit. Okay. Not gonna do that. That's a little bit cheaty. Okay, can't fit a large, so where is just a small silo extension, small multi-fruit silo extension? That should do it. And we need to turn on the conveyor belt again. Or just move it. Oh, no, do not put snow in there. If you eliminate all the sugar beet in there, I'm going to be super mad. It's okay. Apparently loading sugar beets with a conveyor belt while it's snowy is a little precarious. Alright, we are unstuck. Yay. Unstuck for now, I should clarify. Can we get up and over, up and over, up and over? Alright, officially unstuck. So we need to get this load up to the sugar mill, and I'm going to be curious to see if the sugar mill still only accepts one load at a time, or if it will allow multiple trailers. So rather than... I'm going to do something a little bit cheaty to test, but we won't gain anything from it, apart from maybe saving a little bit of time. I'm going to spawn in, once we unload this at the sugar mill, I'm going to spawn in a load of sugar beets and try to unload it into the mill. If it's successful, I will then delete a trailer load of sugar beet from our storage. If it's unsuccessful, I will just delete the sugar beet that I spawn in, and it'll be like it never happened. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes once we get up there. I thought about putting a courseplay course in, like I did for the silage over the summer season. But I'm thinking with the snow on the ground and stuff, I just don't fully trust a courseplay course to get this done. Though, I mean, honestly, the courseplay driver did manage the Ford truck better than I was able to. So maybe I should just courseplay everything and let the AI do all of my driving for me. You know, I do really like the sounds on this truck. I just wish that they were a little bit quieter so they were not deafening every time you use it. The inside of the cab is not bad. Keeping in mind it is optimized for consoles like PS4 and Xbox One. And, I mean, even then, it doesn't look bad. And for a custom truck, like, it is 3D modeled and everything. Like, it looks really sharp in here. One thing about driving a truck like this with no hood on it is that it turns a little bit differently than a truck with a hood on it, because you're sitting like right above the turning wheels instead of the turning wheels being in front of you. You actually have to like drive past the point you want to turn and then turn in. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you're used to it, it can just be like second nature. I'm not saying I'm very good at driving these trucks in Farming Simulator, don't get me wrong, just in real life, our fire trucks at my department operate like that as well. They don't have the wheels out in front. In fact, on our fire trucks, the wheels are a little bit behind the driver, so it actually accentuates that characteristic, or exaggerates that characteristic. Alright, and the sugar mill is up in the city proper, so we gotta turn onto this part of the highway here. Nice Jake brake sound on this truck. Though in real life there would probably be a big old sign that says, like, no trucks through this neighborhood. I suppose we could have gone straight at the highway and then just turned left and gone past the flour mill. That's probably the way that we'll leave. But I kind of wanted to see the snow mask of the city. It looks like the city has their own plowing, so we're not going to get lucky and get a contract with them. Maybe one of the outlying communities will need plowing services. Oh yeah, that would go right down to past the flour mill to the highway. Alright, this is the textile mill. And the sugar mill's behind there. Ooh. Garage there that we can develop. Maybe an opportunity for more apartments. Alright, here is the sugar mill. Alright, so there's two different sides here. One side you just sell the sugar beets, and the other side you process it into sugar. And of course, the one with the super, super tiny conveyor belt there is the sugar processing. Alright, let's go ahead and overload the sugar beet. And then we will go ahead and do our test. Alright, let's go ahead and fill the trailer with sugar beet again. And let's see if we can overload. Ah, it is letting us. Good. In a previous version of the map, you could not. So we will go ahead and bring all of our sugar beet up here. I probably will course play it, but I will do all that off camera. I will go ahead and cut back to the farm and let you see me deleting a trailer of sugar beet, just so you know that I am being honest about that. We're not just spawning in, 70,000 liters of sugar beet. So, yeah, probably... Yeah, let's just cut there. Let's just cut there. I'm going to set up a course play course to go back. Okay, guys, we have a little bit of a problem. I think when the conveyor belt picks up snow, it deletes whatever is already in its inventory, and it picks up snow a lot. So, if you look, this is the load of sugar beet that I said I was going to delete. But if we look at our global company storage, that's all we have left, which is not accurate at all. We had over 240,000 liters. I've transported 70, technically 140 since I did that. So this would bring it up to 200. So we should have at least half a trailer load left. I am going to fix this. We are going to have our proper amount of sugar beet in, and we just need to remember not to use these when with a conveyor belt while there is snow around. So yeah, I will get all that fixed and taken care of, and I will see you guys next day. Until then, have a good one.